Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Pastor Maureen from the Congregational Church of Amherst United Church of Christ, and it is Tuesday, April 21st, and I thought I'd check in with you all just to let you know what's going on in our church and also to see how you're doing as well. So you're invited to leave comments below this video. We are in the 6th week of being apart, practicing our social distancing. And we're also into spring. And even though we are celebrating the new life that is coming up around us, especially in this second week of Easter, we see the forsythia blooming and the tulips and all the other plants starting to poke up through the ground, anticipating spring proper coming, even on this kind of gray and blustery day. But as I've been checking in with many of you on the phone or via email or on our Zoom meetings, Zoom coffee hour as well, feeling a bit of an energy lull for many of you, especially this past week. And part of it has to do with the news of last week, that when we heard that schools will continue to practice distance learning until the end of the school year. So the disappointment involved in that for our kids and our teachers and our parents of not having those end of year rituals, of not seeing their friends, not seeing their students in person. And also anticipating our church family not being able to be together for a while as well. We had been holding out hope that early May would bring a respite from this situation, but it looks like we will be apart for a bit longer. So all of that, it's just weighing on us. And it is exhausting practicing social distancing. Many of us are still trying to work full time. Many of us are working full time and have kids at home or have a full house full of people. Others, are retired or just have a spouse in the home or are alone, and maybe not working outside the home. But it is still exhausting trying to find ways to replace the ways we used to have to connect with one another, and to just find a release, find connection, to go out to dinner, to go to a movie, to go shopping, to go visit our family and friends, to go for a hike with friends and family. We're missing all of that. So it's understandable why we're feeling a lull in our energy this week. And as I said, we are all in different situations. Some of us are on the front lines. If you're an essential worker, whether a healthcare worker or a supermarket worker or any of the other industries that are still expected to be showing up on the job and going out every day. For those folks, probably tired of hearing how others are tired of being at home. Some would love to have some time just to be home and read and do puzzles and binge watch Netflix. So in many ways, we're having a different experience during this COVID-19 situation. And in many ways, we're having the same experience as we're learning how to adapt in our various situations to this uncertain world. And that was very much part of our sermon on Sunday as we talked about the uncertainty that is around us, and knowing that it's going to continue even longer. It just feels like a hit to our spirits this week. And many of you have been asking, when are we as a church going to be able to get back together? Not because you expect us to be able to do that within the next week or even the next month, but because we're anticipating what that might look like when it does happen. As we gather together in our sanctuary in groups of 50 or more, especially with so many of our folks, our members and friends, being susceptible to this COVID-19 virus. We want to keep everybody safe, and even just gathering together in worship puts people at risk, and some may not feel comfortable coming back right away. They may wait a good long while before people feel comfortable coming back right away. And even if we do gather in the sanctuary and try and sit 6 feet apart, we have to anticipate if we're singing as a congregation, that increases the distance we need between us even more. So we really have to think about how we might come together to worship. Some of us suggested that we might do it outside over the summer if we can gather and just keep really far apart. We will figure it out as we go. But I just want to assure you that just as we were one of the first to decide not to gather as a group back on March 15th, where some churches took a little longer, and of course many businesses and restaurants took even longer than that. We decided fairly early on to do this because, not just because we have a high-risk population, but because we want to keep people safe. And the idea here is to be loving neighbors to one another and to do what we can to make sure that when we do gather together, none of us is missing, that we are all there together. So it may take a little longer than expected, even when the state starts to open up and restaurants and other businesses start to open up. We may still be cautious and not gather right away. All of that is up in the air. It is going to depend on how things continue to unfold over the next month or so. But we will continue to be together for one another, be there for one another. I'm hearing so many wonderful things of people making masks for each other and delivering them and leaving under flower pots on their front step and delivering meals, going grocery shopping, making phone calls, sending cards and letters to acknowledge birthdays and all the missed milestones that we would otherwise be gathered together in person for. So we're finding a way, and we're looking for the joy, we're looking for the hope in the sadness and in the uncertainty. And you know what? That is what being a church is all about. That is what being a Christian is all about, is to not be certain about everything, to have some darkness in your life, to have some sadness in your life, and still be able to reach out and connect and lean on each other and lift up each other's spirits, even when the world around us seems to be conspiring to bring us down. So there's a lull in the energy this week, but the sun will come out tomorrow. Our moods change day by day. I don't know about you. One day I am up and I'm ready to, be a pastor to all of you. And other days I'm like, I just need to relax. I need a break. And I know many of you are feeling that way, whether you're a parent with a house full of people or a retiree, just trying to find a way to connect with others. We all need to give one another grace. We need to give ourselves grace as we find our way through this. So continue to tune in to our videos during the week and to our worship services on Sunday morning. We are doing a YouTube premiere now on Facebook. So it goes up live at 10 a.m. even though we're recording the service earlier. It goes up live so you can all experience it in real time and comment on it and then gather for coffee hour afterwards. And then the video is available on Facebook and, of course, our website anytime after 10 o'clock to watch it through. So if you join us at 10:15 and you've missed the first 15 minutes on Facebook, you can go over to the website and start it from the beginning if you'd like. Do you leave us feedback to see if this is working for you all, if you're enjoying the service, if the time works for you, and just let us know how you're doing. Continue to check in via emails and phone calls, and no matter what mood you're in, we want to hear from you. So until next week, until Sunday, in our next update video, be well, be safe, and God bless.